CNIB presents Know Your Rights. Taylor, a young lady, and her guide dog Wallace, a black lab, sit in front of a white backdrop.
My name's Taylor Bauer. I am the Program Lead Awareness and Community Outreach with CNIB Alberta and Northwest Territories. I am also a person with low vision since birth. I am a guide dog handler, and I am an avid baker. This is my guide dog Wallace. He is a black lab golden retriever cross from CNIB Guide Dogs. One fun fact about Wallace is that he loves to go swimming, but he is afraid of puddles.
This is Taylor's story.
Guide dogs go through intensive training. For Wallace, it took him 2 years to be skilled enough to be able to be paired with someone who was blind or partially sighted and to navigate the world safely and keep that person as well as himself safe. Quite often, when accessing, whether it's a store, a mall, any kind of public place, I often experience this barrier of security personnel or management coming up simply because I have a guide dog, not because we did anything wrong, not because my guide dog acted in a certain way, but yet I have to prove to them that I need to have my guide dog with me and that he's a real service dog and that I can't just have that independence to access a space and be like everybody else.
Let's review this barrier that Taylor often experiences. Taylor and her guide dog Wallace enter a building to attend an appointment. A security guard notices Taylor's guide dog and decides to approach them.
Excuse me, miss. Can I see your guide dog's ID, please?
Can I ask why you're asking? Is he behaving inappropriately?
It's in the company policy for any service animal entering the building.
When these things happen, it can be hard. It's a very emotional experience of having to consistently prove my disability, consistently prove that my guide dog is an actual guide dog, that after all the work that went into me getting this dog, but yet you don't believe me. And it's also, that it's frustrating. It's like I go into a place and I expect it to happen right off the bat. What should happen is when accessing any public space, that person, whether it's a security guard, a staff member, a manager, should simply, if they see someone with a guide dog or what appears to be a guide dog, is just watch. Watch for that behavior. And if the dog is acting in a manner that is inappropriate, then you can go speak to them and say, hey, I noticed these behaviors. Can I see your ID for your guide or service dog? Otherwise, we should just simply let that person and their guide dog be.
Alberta's Blind Persons Rights Act recognizes the rights of Albertans who are blind, including those who are accompanied by guide dogs, to access all public places in the province. If a blind person is denied access to a public place for the reason that they are accompanied by a guide dog, the Blind Persons Rights Act permits the police to lay a charge. On conviction, the offending individual or organization may be liable for a fine of up to $3,000. Let's replay this scene and see what should have happened. Taylor and her guide dog Wallace enter a building to attend an appointment. A security guard notices them both and allows them to proceed into the building without interruption.
It's important for businesses to educate themselves around guide dogs and guide dog access because that putting people in a box and immediately having them prove to you that they need their guide dog is a form of discrimination, and that's not fair. We should all be able to access a space and be like everybody else.
While not currently illegal in Alberta, the practice of automatically requiring guide dog handlers to produce identification places an undue burden on people who are blind, deafblind, or have low vision. It is best practice to assume that a guide dog is a qualified working dog, unless there is reason to believe otherwise. To learn more, visit cnib.ca/knowyourrights. This video was created with generous funding from the Alberta Law Foundation.